So
No.
no worries there. But anyway, we're going live. Hello. How you doing, everybody? Chad is Biden. All right, thank you. All right. Enough worship of the Biden for a couple of seconds. We must get into the intro. How you doing, everybody? It's your boy Chadis Biden, and with me is Chadis Biden. How you doing, Chadis Biden?
I'm doing wonderful, Chadis Biden. How are you doing, Chadis Biden?
I'm doing very fine, Chadis Biden. And below you is Chadis Biden. How are you doing, Chadis Biden?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you, Chadis Biden?
I'm doing very well, Chadis Biden. And for some reason, we got somebody who is not getting with the program. Chadis Biden, Chadis Biden, Chadis Biden, Chadis Biden, Chadis Biden,
Chadis Biden,
Chadis Biden, Chadis Trumpus, aka Politicrat, the guest who is not getting with the program. Where is your Biden picture? Where is your Biden?
Okay. Let me. My Biden picture. Hold on. I'll help. Let me
to
see.
be him eating ice cream.
Oh yeah, just him being Chad, basically. But anyway, for those of you who were wondering who I was referring to, Alcazar was first, Chicago was second, and obviously Politicrat last. So, Politicrat wanted to get on this podcast to talk about many different things. In particular, you wanted to talk about, what was it? Economics, and what was the other thing?
Maybe some foreign policy.
Foreign policy. That's something that's right up Alcazar and Chicago's alley. So
Nice.
Where do you want to start?
Oh God, it's your stream, man. I don't know.
Well, you're my guest, so where are you starting?
The Middle East. There we go.
What was that?
The Middle East.
The Middle East. All right. Well, would you want to talk about that? The Middle East.
Syria. Let's go. Let's start with Syria.
Okay.
What are your guys' opinions on Syria? Should we get out of Syria? Should we stay in Syria?
We should stay.
Really?
Yes. We shouldn't be like imperial overlords or anything, but we should have a presence. If that makes sense.
So you don't want to be imperial overlords, but you still want to have your soldiers based in another
we
country.
should have some sort of presence to
Why?
have some sort of.
You've already got a presence in Turkey, though. You don't need one in Syria.
I'd honestly rather have a presence in Syria than a presence in Turkey if I had to choose.
Turkey's very unreliable, I think.
So is Syria.
I'm
Turkey's more
Turkey as an
strategic
ally.
than Syria.
That is true, though. Yeah.
Well, I also
But-
fucking hate Turkey.
I used to kind of like Erdogan
Why?
as an ally. I don't know why. I don't think I didn't know anything about him really. I was just like, oh, cool. He wants to rebuild the Ottoman Empire. Ottomans were based. And then he pulls it.
Base.
Ottomans? No, are you kidding? The Ottomans were the best.
Well, here's why they're not based. Islam.
Yeah, but they weren't radical. But they weren't radical like Islamists, though.
Except for the one time they killed 1.5 million Armenians.
Yeah, no, that was like because of the. Well, wasn't that because of like the Young Turk takeover? I'm not very well versed in Turkish history.
Long before then.
Yeah, the Ottomans and the Armenians hated each other long before then, dude.
Yeah, that is true. But speaking of young Turks, Cenk Uygur, doesn't he like? No, well, yeah, well he lost. But I was saying, doesn't he still like deny the Armenian genocide or something? I thought I heard.
He pretends not to, but he does. He put out a statement that was like,
Of course.
He put out a really stupid statement. I can't remember, but it was very like dancing around the issue.
Pussyfooting.
He used the word expel or driven out of the country rather than kill or genocide.
Look, he used to be a paleocon.
Who? Yeah, he did.
Cenk Uygur was a paleocon back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, he was also like an unironic misogynist.
Oh yeah, no, as many paleocons are.
Yeah. Like I pretend to hate women, but like Cenk was real.
No, Cenk is kind of yeah. But honestly, if you were like, because like he was basically a carpetbagger, like he just moved to that district and ran in it to do that. But yeah, basically, if I had to vote for if I were voting in that election, I would vote for him for the memes. Honestly.
Oh, I would have. Yeah.
No, plus honestly, in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, he was basically running against an basically like it would have been entertaining. Plus, he doesn't. I mean, I do not like him at all, but he has some decent takes on some issues like foreign policy and like civil liberties and stuff. So you would probably
I don't like his foreign policy.
isn't he non-interventionist?
Yeah, but I'm not a non-interventionist.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Okay, yeah, I don't think every military intervention ever is a good thing. I just don't think that, like, a lot of people say military intervention is rarely justified, and it's like, that is not true. I can hand you several situations in which you would be at the very least very hard pressed to say no to intervening in a situation.
I mean, honestly, like I don't think we should have intervened in Kosovo back in the 90s.
Oh, we should have. We absolutely fucking should have.
No. Listen. This is my thing. That is Europe's sphere of influence. Europe should have been the ones to be the big boys and take control of that situation. And you know what? If Europe didn't, that's on them.
Excuse me. You need to define Europe. Define Europe. What do you mean by Europe?
The EU, essentially. The European
France
powers.
And Germany. Let's get it out.
France, Germany, and at the time UK. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the problem.
Even without
here's the problem.
You don't need the EU.
Yeah. Here's the problem with that. I don't like Germany controlling any. Even
the
Germany.
German boy.
Yeah. German boy doesn't like Germany controlling things.
He admitted it, guys.
Well, I mean, okay. Who else agrees that it might have been a bit for the best if Germany won the First World War?
No. It would
not
have been
me.
worse.
God,
No.
no.
No way.
Yeah, you've come into dude. If you're gonna be defending Germany, you're in the wrong podcast, dude.
You wanted the authoritarian state of Prussia/Germany to win over the classical liberal United Kingdom and France. Okay.
Okay,
No,
here's the thing.
Listen to this justification. I'm not saying it would have been good.
So it's not going to be good, but you'd rather
the Holocaust wouldn't. No, but there would have been nothing to necessitate the rise of the Nazis and fascism.
Well, how do you know? Well, how do you know Oswald Mosley would not have taken over the British Empire?
That was before fascism.
Also, on top of that,
fascism was already being created anyway during the World War One. Even before that, it had its genesis.
Yeah, Mussolini literally changed invented his own ideology because he was a socialist and pro-war, because he saw in a very pragmatic view that this giant war could bring about the socialist revolution he wanted, and was kicked out of his party for it. And on top of that, it wasn't just the war that caused the rise of Adolf Hitler and fascism in Germany and throughout other places in Europe. You have to keep in mind the Great Depression was also a huge factor. And I can guarantee you that still would have happened.
So you think even if Germany won, you think the Nazis would have still taken over in Germany?
Yes, because the Great Depression still would have happened nonetheless.
Also, the creation of the Nazis was also partially because a large part of it was nationalism, essentially. They felt emasculated by the victorious Allied powers. And
essentially,
wouldn't embolden nationalism.
What we're forgetting here, guys.
Oh no, they were always nationalists. But I'm just saying it wouldn't have been Nazism as we know it today.
Well, what you're forgetting is
Politicrat. Wait. I want to go and ask this rhetorical question to both of you right now. Would you rather have preferred Would you have rather preferred the Anglo-American world order or the German world order?
Oh, Anglo-American world order, no doubt.
Yeah, you know
then
my
why
answer to
are
this,
you
too.
advocating for the Germans winning the First World War?
I'm not advocating for the Germans winning the First World War. I'm just presenting a thought experiment, essentially, suggesting that the Holocaust
here's something that debunks
may
that.
not.
Here's something that debunks that, because judging by the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, where the Germans gave the Russians an incredibly harsh peace treaty, it was as bad as the Treaty of Versailles. There's no reason why they wouldn't have done that to Britain and France.
Okay, then
you would have seen people like Mosley and whoever had. Wait. You would have seen extremist elements within the Allied powers brewing, because the British and French Empire.
The US would have gotten off relatively easy.
Well, that's if Germany managed to beat the Allies before America turned up.
Okay, you know what? That is a fair point.
I'm not done. So not only that, what you've got to realise is that the empires would have been broken up. Germany would have shared it with their allies, and so there'd be a lot of resentment, and that would have created things on par with Nazism. You might have just seen communists spring up all over the place who may have seen reactionaries, like the White Russians. Maybe they would have won somewhere in Britain or France or wherever. And then we might have seen an even more unstable world, because the most stable country for the past 200 years at that point, Britain, suddenly descends into chaos. It presided over the Pax Britannia and all that. How does that not cause something on par with Hitler or anything like that?
I was just saying, yeah, no, you do make a good point there, especially with people with elements like fascism could have just arose in a different place.
Yeah. Also, I'm just
no, but okay. Then in that case, that makes me think maybe the main problem was how harsh our stipulations were on the Central Powers.
On the Allied side, so if they lose, Mussolini still has a way to get in.
Yeah, but no, I was saying I think the stipulations that maybe we placed on the Central Powers after the First World War, us as the Allies, maybe it was that. Maybe those were too harsh.
It's debatable, really, because we know that they could have paid back their reparations, and that they were actually trying not to.
Also, I'm just Politicrat. What you have to know about me is I'm just against German control of anything as a principle.
Why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Because Germany's a net negative.
Because you are talking to a crowd.
So are you.
Okay, and
he's also a kraut. Well,
Not
Alsatian.
Really. Yeah, I identify as Alsatian now.
Identify as asexual, pan-romantic guys? No, I'm kidding.
Damn, bro, you got the whole squad laughing.
So, what about World War II? Because I know there was a guy who was getting quote tweeted around. I think he was either Australian or New Zealand, and he literally, in one of the quote tweets I saw, it was like, was it Germany did not want war with England? It's like, well, yes and no.
They did.
Yes and no. They were willing to risk it, basically. So they were willing to go to war if that's what it took to win. But also, ideally, they would have not wanted to, because they thought that if we keep appeasing them, then jobs are good, isn't it? But turns out that Poland was one step too far.
Can I entirely change the subject to something major that happened this week?
Okay. Are we talking about
Super Tuesday?
Super Tuesday, yeah. Biden,
Joey
Chad
won,
is
baby. Chad is Biden won, baby.
So this is more your guys' thing. So
he didn't even campaign in Arkansas.
No, I was not expecting that, honestly. Like, I was actually surprised. No, I wasn't surprised that. No, I was surprised that Biden ended up having his comeback. I was expecting, like, originally, I was expecting that the media were going to be propping up Warren and Buttigieg for months. But then after, but then, or Buttigieg, whatever. I pronounce it both ways, depending on how I feel. I don't know, but yeah. So
changes with your mood.
Pete Buttchug.
If I'm really feeling energetic today, I say butt geek.
Butt geek. No, but seriously, I was expecting that they were going to be one of them was going to be propped up. I was expecting Joe Biden's campaign was just going to fade into obscurity, and then after that, you have. I was shocked on Sunday. Like I was just sitting on the couch. I was watching Parasite, checking the news, and then it says that Pete Buttigieg suspends announces that he's going to suspend his campaign, and I'm thinking, wait, what? No, this can't be right. And I'm talking to a couple acquaintances on Twitter, and they're like, no, this has got to be a hoax. But then, like, an hour later, it actually happens, and I'm surprised. I'm like, how? Like, why? Like, before Warren or before Klobuchar? And I was surprised. It just seemed too early. Like, I mean, I feel like he should have at least waited out till Super Tuesday. But then I was surprised. But then Klobuchar then drops out the next day. Buttigieg endorses Biden. Klobuchar, I'm also surprised, albeit to a lesser extent, that she drops out because she could have. I was expecting her to at least see if she could win her own state of Minnesota. But then after that, yeah. Then Warren drops out, and then Klobuchar and Buttigieg back Biden, and it's like they're literally building centrist Voltron. That is what Biden is. Biden is like the centrist Voltron.
I was actually very much the complete opposite. Although there were tiny bits of surprises within the night, I was generally expecting for Biden to very much dominate Super Tuesday. polling showed that he was going to dominate Super Tuesday,
I was-
especially in the South. And some New England states, who else? So and Virginia. He was going to dominate Virginia. I was a little surprised at Texas, but not entirely. I thought Texas was going to come down to a within a 5-point lead either way.
I wasn't surprised with Texas at all, honestly.
Let me finish. But I thought Bernie was going to win it by a little bit, but I also thought Joe had a possibility of winning Texas, but within a very, very thin margin, within 5 points. I didn't expect Sanders to dominate California as much as he did. I didn't expect Joe Biden to win Maine, for one. That was very surprising. And I also did not. The biggest surprise of the night was that Joe Biden won Massachusetts, which I did not see coming.
He did. That's right.
Yeah. So overall, I thought Joe Biden was going to dominate Super Tuesday. He did, but the surprise was he dominated way harder than I thought was possible. And the main reason I thought he was going to dominate Super Tuesday because he overwhelmingly won South Carolina, which revamped his campaign.
I was honestly I was not surprised that he won South Carolina in a landslide. Everyone was talking about.
Nobody was surprised about that.
Okay,
I heard so many people, albeit they were mostly Bernie bros on Twitter, talking about, oh yeah, no, if Biden wins, it's only going to be by a tiny bit because Bernie has the biggest, most diverse Black coalition there is, and
sorry,
blah,
bros,
blah, blah,
Joe
blah.
Biden,
and then they all voted for Biden.
Exactly.
No, I was completely. It did not shock me that Joe Biden won South Carolina by that large of a margin.
Do you actually want to know what did shock me though? And it wasn't even in Super Tuesday. Bernie only won Vermont with a little over 50% of the vote there.
That was also
however, in 2016 he got over 70%. So that just shows that he is not going to be the nominee.
Not popular.
I noticed that they didn't even need to rig the election this time. They just had to do what Boris Johnson did, and that was just tactical.
I was actually saying this is like the American remake of the December election in the
Biden
UK.
went full one
I'm
nation Tory,
I'm not referring
basically.
to the election. I'm referring to the leadership election that the Tories
had
a few months before that. So what happened was, Sanders basically got fucked over. But that was actual rigging. In the British case, it was just Boris got backstabbed by, I think it was Gove. So Gove was meant to vote for him. I think they had an agreement, a gentleman's agreement, and obviously that didn't pan out, and so it ended up being Theresa May. But in the next election, because Theresa May had resigned, what happened was that Boris had enough support now that he could pretty much influence the election, but in a completely legal and fair way. So, they would tell certain Boris voters to vote a certain way to knock out potential candidates that could rival him, so that he would get progressively more and more easier candidates, until eventually he got rid of, Gove, etc. And I've seen the same thing happen here now with Super Tuesday, where Biden is faltering a little bit, but Sanders, to be fair, he's nowhere near the force that he was in 2016. So rather than just do what they did with Hillary, which is under no circumstances must she lose, they went a bit more smarter about it. They thought, well, we can't be exposed again because WikiLeaks will be onto us. I'm not finished. No, I'm not finished. And so they decided to play it tactically. Let's keep voting for the people that we need to keep him at bay, and then we'll push for Biden on Super Tuesday. So everybody dropped out and endorsed Biden, and next thing you know, he's winning all these states.
So would you think this was entirely calculated from the beginning? No, they didn't. It's not calculated. It's more like, well, this is what we need to do, because they saw that Sanders was gaining steam, but not as much as he did in 2016. So they thought, well, we don't want to. They probably thought, well, we don't want to get caught, rigging the election like we did. So let's just play it calm. Let's just do it by the book. And I think it's been a lot more effective, actually. Well, also Joe Biden is far more likable than him.
And we also can't forget that Sanders supporters aren't doing him any favours, and in fact I think he's had more press coverage on that, and it's not doing him any favours. And in fact he's not even like saying it's a bad thing. he says, I condemn all violence. But he's not actually condemning that particular violence, which is what people are asking him to do. So he's actually condoning it. You know, he's never apologised for the guy getting shot. He's never apologised for the guy who...
And the guy who brought the flag to his, the Nazi flag to his rally.
Oh, and let's not forget the guy who did
that was funny. That was hilarious, honestly.
Hang on. And also the guy who tried to do a truck of peace. Let's not forget.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, this time around, the media was very much more critical of Bernie than he was last time around. Because despite what the Bernie bros and the progressives will tell you, back in 2016, the media coverage of Bernie Sanders was actually very, very positive. Because initially he was reported as a new up-and-coming fresh candidate, right? And then when he started gaining ground at Hillary Clinton, the media focus shifted to, oh, he's gaining ground, he's catching up to Hillary Clinton. So it was very much this underdog, this David and Goliath story that the media was fascinated by. And Stephen Michael Davis mentioned this in his video, I believe his most recent one about Cenk Uygur losing. But I'll have to check up on that. So
Wait, Cenk. Okay, what do you mean Cenk Uygur losing? Like, did they had their like primaries also? I didn't think those were till May.
No. Yeah, that was all March 3rd. Yeah, he lost. Did you not know that?
No, like I'd heard that, but it just occurred to me. I didn't think that like party primaries, like in terms of like local offices, usually happen until like May or June. At least that's how it is in my state.
Well, California might be different. Where do you live?
I'm Virginia. I literally live 30 minutes outside of DC. Like I was actually in DC last night.
Oh, you live in Northern Virginia? Oh, yeah, I've talked to you before.
So how badly has Bernie lost? Like, give me some rough estimates. Like, is this a crushing defeat? Is he?
Yes,
is he not...
I think it generally crushing. I wouldn't say 100% crushing, but he has like only I'd say he has about a 20% chance of getting the nomination at this point. Thank God.
Also, Elizabeth Warren dropping out might not hurt him. Might not help him that much, especially if she's not going to endorse Bernie.
I don't think she has.
No, she hasn't. She hasn't endorsed anybody. Not all
and
of her
Tulsi staying and definitely isn't helping Bernie either.
No. So Elizabeth Warren, not all of her supporters are going to go to Bernie Sanders. Some of them might be very turned off by Bernie Bros' online behavior, and so they'll go to Joe Biden, or she might genuinely end up endorsing Joe Biden because it's more politically expedient for her, even though she might, in her heart of hearts, align more with Bernie's policies.
I feel like she's one of those that just blows with the wind, and I think even Bernie to some extent blows with the wind, because a lot of people have been noting that, you know, Bernie supporters have been saying that, oh, you know, he's one of the most consistent candidates, but he's not.
No, Ron Paul was like probably the last consistent person to run for president.
I mean,
and honestly, consistency in a politician is not always an inherently good thing. To a certain extent, you want to see them change their minds on some issues.
But
I agree entirely.
It's the way he changes his mind, or quote unquote changes his mind. Like, for example, he used to be for gun control. Now he's not, because it's the only way he can.
No. He's never been a fan of gun control.
I'm pretty sure he did defend the Second Amendment like at least 20 years.
Oh yeah, no, he was literally the NRA endorsed him back in 1992. Said vote for the socialist in their newsletter to the people of Vermont.
Politicrat. So you realize that now Bernie wants to take away all of your guns, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get at here. That
even his current gun plan though is better than the gun plans of all the other Democrats by comparison. Like
which
literally,
means
Joe
Bernie's
Biden
still a
said
flip-flopper.
Yeah, he's a flip-flopper. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, I don't actually think that Bernie will do it if he ends up becoming president. I think that the centrist Democrats are actually, ironically, more likely to be the ones to take away the guns because they're more establishment. Like, for instance,
You're right, Bernie would just put us in camps instead.
Biden literally said that he wants to put Beto O'Rourke in charge of the gun policies.
Yeah, which
scares me.
British Knight saying that Mommy Tulsi is slowly helping kill her old mentor. Is that Bernie? Because I don't think Bernie's her mentor. That's more AOC, if you think about it.
Well, no. Him and Tulsi are still really good friends.
Well, they go way back, yeah.
But they're friends, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily mentors.
She said that he was one of the people who inspired her when she entered Congress.
You're right. Probably maybe AOC is being more mentored by Bernie right now.
I mean, a fat load of good that's done her. I think I think she's probably getting voted out at some point of her constituency.
Oh yeah, no. I ended up going into DC last night, like I said, and I was like I'm basically the odd one out in this local kind of group of conservative intellectuals. Like we all like meet in DC every month, like at a restaurant, and like talking to the wee hours of the night about politics and shit. And so we were talking about AOC last night, and one of them, one of my like the one I'm relatively closest to, was telling me he thinks that what's going to happen is AOC, because she's pretty much hated in her district, she's going to lose. I most likely in the primary in June, but if not, she probably would in November. And what they're going to do is, so she's been consulting with her advisors lately, and they're going to try to do like a whole carpet bagging scenario, and they're probably going to move her to an isolated district somewhere in California to run again, where they know that she's probably going to get elected. And yeah, and honestly, I can see that happening.
Oh my god! Usually, that's a pretty dramatic carpet bagging. Why wouldn't they just move her to Why would they just move her to another fucking district in New York City?
Possible too. I mean, he was being intentionally dramatic, but like.
Yeah, because if you're gonna carpet bag, which is a perfectly legitimate strategy, just move to somewhere closer to you because it's easier for you to move around, so you don't have to dramatically change your lifestyle.
Exactly. Yeah.
And abandon all your friends and family that probably live where you are. But there's more. You could just move to a more progressive part of the city. I mean, I'm sure. Just move to like Brooklyn or something, because that's a relatively like progressive area, isn't it?
I think she represents Brooklyn and the Bronx, or is it the Bronx and Queens?
Just the Bronx.
Oh.
Pretty sure. Don't quote me on that.
So what's like? How many more primary votes are there left? Is this it?
So Tuesday there's Missouri, Idaho, Washington, North Dakota, and there's 3 more states.
That has to be it, surely, right?
No.
All on one go, or is it just going to be one after?
No, there's more, and then there's another set in April, and then there's
God.
the very last ones in June.
Never ends.
And then the convention's in July or August.
And then
convention is in July.
And then they finally decide who the leader is. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter though, because I think Trump's going to win again.
Bernie's going.
Don't be too cocky.
I'm not being.
Coronavirus is the wild card. Coronavirus is definitely the wild card, depending on how much.
Yes, it depends on how bad coronavirus gets.
I think in America you'll be fine. I think.
In relative to Italy,
it doesn't even have to get.
Italy like thrives in chaos.
Yeah,
Italy's always thrived in chaos.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Except for like 300 years during the Hellenistic period.
Well, even Rome to some extent was chaotic.
Hey, there was a period of time where there was
no... about Rome.
We will be the British here, whether we like it or not.
Dude, I don't give a shit about Rome. Rome is gay, and so are you.
You're gay.
Dude, the coronavirus doesn't even have to get that bad.
Mm-hmm.
If at least a decent little chunk of people in each little metropolitan region has coronavirus, that could potentially stamper enough fear to where Trump, he's been saying, "Oh, we have everything under control," to the point where it's like, "Well, you lied to us. No, you don't." So then people could switch.
To be fair, he could have done everything he possibly could have done. Yet it takes only several thousand individuals to not do exactly
that's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying the spread could be Trump's fault, because I mean, I'm assuming he's doing everything that he can do, but sometimes you can't just stop a disease from spreading.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how much he is doing and how right it is. It's just the perception of people, because a lot of people are fucking stupid.
Well, you've also got to remember that he has to look like he's doing a good job as well as actually doing it. So I think as long as people recognise that, yeah, this is actually a very, I hope this is the right word, vociferous disease. Because the thing about coronavirus is that it doesn't actually kill that much. It's the opposite of the SARS virus from a few years ago, even though they're very related. Whereas the SARS virus...
It was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Come on. I mean, I'm an historian. That is a few years.
In like elf years.
Yeah, but it technically is a few years, though, if you think about it. But anyway, so like 20 years ago... Well, it's 18 years ago, something like that. SARS virus, it killed more... It was more likely to kill you, but it didn't spread very fast. Whereas coronavirus spreads a hell of a lot but it doesn't kill as much as other viruses do. So like, as long as Trump keeps on top of it, and you know, at least tries to do something, and people can recognize that he's actually trying to do something here, but it's simply the nature of the disease, I think he'll be fine. You know, I don't think coronavirus might even be around by November. You know, I think, you know, the environment, you know, the climate will change. You know, it will start going towards winter, and I think here he is.
Well, you
know that might kill it. So you don't know.
The disease could revive after the summer and spring.
Well, according to if you've heard about the fiction book, if you've heard about the novel that predicted it.
What novel?
There's a novel.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so there's a novel that was written in the 1980s, and it predicted the coronavirus. And,
how accurate was it?
Very accurate. Its name was wrong because it was meant to be like a weapon, but this is not a weapon. But it was called Wuhan 15 or something, made in the biological research.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Did it originate in the Wuhan farmers markets?
No, it originated in the medical facility outside the town, which is real.
I was on the Dissecting Liberty podcast last week, and we were talking about like the topic of the day was China, and I think the episode actually comes out tomorrow. But we were talking about the origins of coronavirus, and about how you guys know Senator Tom Cotton of like Alabama, right?
No.
Total idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a total neocon idiot essentially, but he like his whole thing was he thinks that it was created in a lab as a bioweapon. And he like tweeted about it, and the media was like shutting him down, saying he was a conspiracy theorist and stuff. And then like stuff started coming out that suggested that he might actually be right. And I'd actually been saying that since the very beginning. Like I think it was it was created to intentionally be used for population control against Hong Kong. But when they were using it, like when they released it, like they thought it was a controlled release into the local into one of the Wuhan neighborhoods just to see how it would go. It kind of got out of hand after that, but it's just kind of funny that the media just whatever a Republican says about the coronavirus, the media completely like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get it. But I don't know. I don't think by November that the virus will have much of an effect on the election. I don't know. People get distracted easily by the littlest of things. But all I know is that Sanders isn't going to be the nominee. He's going to be Travis Biden, basically.
That's a good thing.
Well, I just like the memes. Like even like people who hate the Democrats are joining in on the Biden memes, and I just love it.
Like who besides you?
Loads of people. Like I've seen some of the deep law people getting in on the memes. I've seen people in my neck of the woods. They've been engaging in it. It's not just me. You know, I'm not a Democrat. I don't think even Chicago's in on it, and he's not a Democrat as far as I know.
No.
So
Biden is a libertarian.
Biden is kind of uniting.
A shitload.
Biden is uniting the memesters against Sanders.
Yeah.
Because I guess nobody likes a communist in America.
Is the meme magic on Joe Biden's side this year?
No, it won't be on his side. But
dude, Trump memes are awful though. They're getting pretty stale.
Trump memes were amazing when they first started, though. Honestly.
Well, we're not in full election cycle yet, so we have to wait and see. Besides,
we kind of are.
Well, not fully. We're not yet. We're not there yet. And besides, he had a really good meme against Bloomberg. If you saw that one, where Bloomberg sent him like a clip of, you know, like when Obi-Wan's fighting Darth Vader. He's like, this is what it's going to be like between me and you. And then like Trump is like, yeah, not so sure, and he shows a clip of Spaceballs where he's got his hand on his head and he's like trying to hit him with his lightsaber. It was well funny.
So
like, that is what he needs to do against Biden.
Guess what's trending on Twitter right now?
Coronavirus.
We love you, Beto.
Oh well, I'm not in America, so that won't be trending here. Look, who cares about Beta anyway? He's bloody. He's irrelevant. He's never going to be anything.
He's trying to be the next JFK so hard. It was hilarious.
Yeah. With his skateboard as well, that was cringe. Like,
yeah, he's even Irish too.
Yeah.
I know. Honestly, I think that Pete Buttigieg has a much better chance of being the.
Did he try to pretend to be Hispanic or like half Hispanic?
Oh yeah, Beto's not very intelligent.
I know. Oh god.
No, dude.
Pete Buttigieg though, I think is an evil genius, and I love him for that.
It's a shame that he lost. If he was so genius.
I legitimately like Pete Buttigieg.
I do too.
I don't think he's.
I don't really think he's a racist or anything.
A racist?
No, I want a Buttigieg Democratic Party essentially, because I feel like he's the closest thing we have to like almost. He's essentially a less degenerate JFK,
but not as degenerate as Bill Clinton.
No, nowhere near as.
Did you hear what he said recently? That Monica Lewinsky was helping him with his stress. She was a stress relief.
That's amazing.
I could imagine how she was a stress relief.
Oh god.
Monica. She was.
I thought about watching that Hillary documentary on Hulu though.
Hey,
there's a Hillary documentary on Hulu. I need to watch that.
Hey, Alcazar.
I need you to help me relieve some stress.
No, you're gonna help me relieve my stress.
It's a wonderful day.
How about we help relieve each other's stress? We could 69 each other, baby.
No, I don't swing that way, bruv.
Well,
who said you had to swing that way? As long as love's platonic, the sex ain't gay, bro.
Is this a Raylo thing? Sorry.
All sex is purely platonic.
Wait,
do you remember that family? There was like that family guy.
Big butts that I cannot lie.
I don't have a
My
big
mother
butt.
can't deny.
There was that Family Guy episode where Chris ends up like joining the Republicans, and like Rush Limbaugh tells him to go egg like Bill Clinton's house or something.
It's Brian. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. And then Bill Clinton is just like walking out to get his newspaper, and he's naked, and he's like, "It's a wonderful day to be nude. Oh, what a wonderful day to be nude."
Anyway, we've got a super chat from British Knight. The virgin neoliberal versus the Chad classical liberal. Well, except technically Biden is a virgin neolib, but oh well.
Yeah, that is true.
Whoa, dude. Neolibs are not virgins, let me tell you. As a neolib, although I am a virgin, I am also a Chad.
You're also a virgin.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just barely not a virgin, so.
Please.
How does you are proof that neoliberals are virgin?
Need a girlfriend, please. Somebody help me. I'm lonely.
We definitely need to get you some kind of girl or boy, whatever. Somebody who will put up with you for about half an hour.
Preferably not an e-girl.
Well, I don't know. They'll do anything for money.
Mate, you don't have to date with you, Jinjat.
Me?
It's okay, Mitch. I can be with you.
No, you're not being with me. Stay back, thought.
Well, fellow Americans, I'm pleased to announce that America.
Neoliberalism is a good thing. Shut the fuck up, British Knight.
Yeah, that's why it started the 2008 recession. Yay!
No, it didn't. That's not true. That was the what was it again? It wasn't neoliberalism.
Well, they had a lot to do with it, with their economic.
That's a socialist talking point, though. To be fair.
Well, no, they did cause it though. They were the ones in power, and a lot of them are Keynesians. So.
Yeah, no, but okay. To be fair, I like old school neoliberalism as opposed to like modern neoliberal. Like I like the Milton Friedman, F.A. Hayek, Mount Pelerin Society.
Hayek was not a neolib; he was a classical liberal.
Oh yeah, no. But that's back when neoliberalism meant something else. Like he was one of the founders of neoliberalism. It was the Mount Pelerin Society.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say he was a founder. It's people more like Strauss.
Friedman.
I wouldn't even say Friedman. Friedman wasn't really into politics. He was purely about the economics.
Well, James Buchanan.
Buchanan's more paleo, isn't he? Right?
No, you're thinking of Pat Buchanan.
Oh, right. They've all got their own.
No,
James. I don't know.
No, James and Buchanan, the Pope's choice theory, dude.
Mason University.
I don't know. Look, Buchanan, Schmichanan. But yeah,
you guys should read the book Democracy in Chains. It's a book that's basically this giant smear piece against James Buchanan about how he was like a fascist and like wanted to create a property rights anti-democratic dictatorship, and that's why he wanted a balanced budget amendment. And the Koch brothers teamed up with him to create like the Cato Institute, and it's like this giant conspiracy theory. And I read the book. I read the book, and I'm like, man, like it's painted James Buchanan to be evil as hell, and I'm reading it. I'm like, man, this guy sounds awesome. His ideas are beautiful.
You've also got to remember, it used to be a comic,
that's what got me into public choice theory.
When you read Mein Kampf and agree with everything it says.
We also got to remember he used to be a commie, so.
James Buchanan or Hitler?
Buchanan. I think Hitler was. I don't.
No, you're thinking of James Burnham.
Oh, Burnham. Yeah, sorry.
James Burnham, who wrote the Machiavellians. And
God damn it!
No. Suicide of the West. I'm listening to Machiavellians on
all these
Scots-Irish
people meld into one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, James Burnham is pretty good though. Like he has some really good books, and I know Academic Agent is a big fan of his.
I actually have the Machiavellians on Kindle.
I don't really take seriously anything that Academic Agent says.
We don't,
anymore.
but his book.
I still watch him. He was the one who really got me into, believe it or not, like internet politics, like actually connecting with people to discuss about politics. Like he's the reason I accidentally discovered the Liberalists, believe it or not, which was kind of my first foray into it. I mean, they're not super active anymore, but yeah.
The Liberalists. What the fuck happened?
They're still going. It's just very quiet. I mean, again, like.
Oh yeah, there's two. So I'm a member. I'm technically still a member. Yeah, of the Liberalists International Association, and then there's the Liberalist Society. And the Liberalist Society are just a bunch of like Sargon acolytes and trolls, but the Liberalist Internationalist Association are actually like.
Remember,
they're like the class.
Sargon set.
They're like the intellectual ones.
We got to remember Sargon set this up not to be a bloody short term. Oh, look at us, we're trying to do something. No, that it's a long term thing. Like if shit hadn't gone tits up in the UK, I reckon the Liberalists would have took over eventually. I
would have liked that. Yeah.
Sam, hang on a sec. Sam Blake, why are you doing
their
that to Chief Moody? Why are you doing that? I'm going to have to revoke your mod status because you keep doing that every stream. And I can't have my mods be irresponsible. Chief Moody did nothing wrong. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Sam. It's just that I don't like that.
Yeah.
Carry on, guys.
And also, and for anybody, this is a recommendation for anybody. Go to the neoliberal subreddit. It's the fucking best political subreddit out of.
Oh no, I go there sometimes. At least when I was on Reddit more than I am now.
Yeah, dude. I only visit the neoliberal subreddit at this point, and I sometimes go to the Andrew Yang subreddit because I still like to interact with the Andrew Yang community online.
I started getting pretty hardcore Yang Gang later on.
I am still hardcore Yang Gang. He started a nonprofit the other day.
Really? Oh, you think? Okay, so what do you think about the rumors that he's going to run for mayor of New York? I want him to so bad.
Let's just start this right out. Anybody would be better than Bill de Blasio.
De Blasio is like I'd rather have Mike Bloomberg or Rudy Giuliani back than Bill de Blasio.
Yeah. Let's just get that out of the gate.
Well, Giuliani was okay.
Let's just get that out of the gate.
Giuliani wasn't a bad mayor.
De Blasio is shit.
Dude, he's anti-charter school. Is shills to the unions. Like I fucking hate teachers unions at this point. Like I'm sorry, I like the idea of them.
You and me both, mate.
Also, Bill de Blasio is a Bernie supporter.
Oh, he's not. He's like one of those fake. He's basically one of those like really bad neolibs who like poses and pretends to be a progressive for the sake of virtue signaling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would just like to say to Sam though, you can become a mod again as long as you say sorry and don't randomly, silence people. All right, only silence the spammers. People who are making good comments like British Knight, that's fine. It's fine, Sam. You are forgiven. I will add you
British
as a
Knight,
mod again tomorrow.
I do not need a femboy. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, that's £2 British Knight. Alcazar needs a femboy. Yes, you do. You act like one anyway, so.
Well,
you are the femboy of the relationship.
I don't mind that. I just don't want another one. I'll be the fucking submissive one. I don't care. I'll be a trad housewife. Fuck it.
See, I am a forgiving god. What can I say?
Dude. The men being trad housewives.
See, now I feel bad. Sam must be sad. Now I apologize to you, Sam. But I can't like have mods. Go out of bounds like that. I have to have standards. I hope you don't take it too personally. But anyway, moving on, because we exhausted that. Have you guys been checking out what's happening in Greece?
No, and I don't really care about Greece.
Well,
No, you see, I know there's a lot of immigration or refugees maybe, and they're scared because of what fucking Erdogan is doing.
Yeah, so what's happened is Erdogan's basically at war with Syria. I don't know if I think they may have made it official, maybe not. But there was
is he still invading Syria?
Yeah, he is, but I don't know if he's made it official yet that this is actually.
I've been one of Turkey's biggest defenders for a while, giving them I've always wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I would never do
that. But at this point, after what's happened for the past week, I'm like, fuck it. We just need to kick him out of NATO.
So anyway, what happened was I think there was an airstrike or something. A load of Turkish soldiers got killed. I don't know if it was Russia or Syria. Something happened, and because I guess the EU is not doing his bidding, he's not getting the backing that he thinks he deserves, and also because, let's be fair, he really wants to be a part of it as well. There's always been talk over the years of Turkey being part of the EU. Like, come on, people can say it's not a conspiracy, it's a fear-mongering tactic, but no, there is a push for Turkey among many other countries to be part of the EU.
I wanted that. I was one of those supporters until recently.
You really don't want them in the EU. But
dude, here's a better idea. How about we don't have an EU?
Yes, obviously.
Okay. You see, so I like the EU, the concept of the EU, but I don't like it in practice. I like the EU as it was originally planned to be, like a giant free trade zone, essentially.
Yes, just all the EU needs to be is a giant free trade zone.
The EEC never really acted like that, really, because there were people who were complaining about it already being kind of interventionist in our policy and law and things like that, even in the 70s. But anyway, so that's happened in Syria, and then he's trying to get them to do what he wants. So he's got all those people on the border as kind of like a gun to the EU's head, and it's like a pressure valve for him as well. So it's like he'll release millions of them if they basically. He said
what,
it.
Syrians?
Anybody. It's not just Syrians. It's Algerians. People. I saw one guy say he was from Guinea, not Papua New Guinea, in Africa.
Guinea.
Oh, fun fact! Did you know that the original guy to come up with the idea for the EU, like as it currently exists now, was actually a neo-Nazi? Well, technically, it was a Nazbol, but do you guys know who? Do you guys know who Francis Parker Yockey?
No, but I hate him already. If he's
anyway, I'm not.
Basically, he had a vision for the European. He didn't call it the EU, but this is back in the 30s. So he wrote this book called Imperium. And this book, Imperium, was essentially advocating for, like, in order for the West to be saved, Europe must identify or unify into a single bureaucratic, continental-wide, like, ethno-state, essentially, led by Germany, and based out of probably Brussels.
Well, anyway,
Germany.
Well, anyway, Erdogan has let a load.
But the funny thing is, Yockey was also he was a fascist and like a white supremacist and everything. But he felt like that the United States was like so decadent and degenerate, and liberalism was like so terrible. And he said that the thing is that in order for like the West to be saved, we need to ally with the communists. And he eventually became like a Bolshevik later in life, like a white he is basically the
anyway,
he is the avatar of the Nazbol.
Anyway, as I was saying, Erdogan's let a load of them through the border to try and get to Greece and then through to the rest of the EU. A lot of it's not just about getting the EU to get them to do what he wants them to do. It's also a middle finger to Greece, because as we know, they don't like each other. There's history there, and also Cyprus. That's another contention there after their invasion. But interestingly enough, Greece was probably always going to defend their borders, but the EU itself is backing Greece.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they should.
Well, no, they didn't, did they? Last time, when there was a wave of migration, they were telling people to open the borders, but now all of a sudden things have changed. They're telling people to close the borders, to basically enact the laws of their countries. And I think Poland is going to send not troops, but police or border guards. I don't know what they're sending to the Greek border to help out. Like, this is Poland. It's not unprecedented. They would do that anyway. But the EU, the same people who, were telling us not to do such things and are telling us, well, telling Europe to police the border. Like, I don't know if this is they've learned from Brexit and realised, well, we've got to give them some leeway. Is this like a power play? Is this a political thing to get them on their good books? Or have they actually genuinely realised, well, actually, we're already buckling under the weight of a lot of, of the last wave anyway, in terms of numbers. We can't really let any more in. Is it like that? Or are they worried about rocking the boat because, Britain's left, there's a huge vacuum, not in terms of funding, but in terms of, just a power, an influence there. So maybe they're trying to keep the rest of them on good terms. Who knows? What do you guys think? Because I wasn't expecting that, to be fair.
I haven't been following the situation in Greece close enough to be able to make a comment.
But what would you say, knowing what you know about, people like Ursula, whatever she's called, and the like.
Ursula von der Leyen.
Yeah, von der Leyen.
This is literally the first time I've heard the name.
Well, she's one of the higher ups in the EU.
She's
okay.
president of the European Commission.
Yeah, and she's the top dog basically, apart from Tusk and thingy Verhofstadt.
Well, Verhofstadt isn't really just he doesn't command a lot.
Verhofstadt is not a top dog.
Well, he doesn't. He
doesn't command a lot of
Juncker
formal
is.
power. He doesn't command
Juncker's the third.
Well, I didn't say he was.
He doesn't command a lot of formal power, but he has a lot of informal.
That's
power.
what I was trying to get at. He's still a top dog in terms of.
I basically view the modern EU as essentially another version of it's kind of like the Delian League back during the Peloponnesian War in a lot of sense. Like, I mean, it's supposed to be a big stabilizing force that is supposed to bring stability to civilization, essentially, to like European civilization.
It's a failure. Also, I found a rant Guy Verhofstadt.
Britain is Sparta and Germany is Athens, or vice versa. I don't know.
I say we're more Athens, really.
Yeah, you're more.
Well, I mean, in terms of like their beliefs, Britain is more akin to Athens, but in terms of their role, it's more akin to Sparta at this point.
I can see that, yeah.
But speaking of Guy Verhofstadt, I found a rant that he went off a few years ago, yelling at Viktor Orban, and he was actually pretty base. Not gonna lie. He basically just went off on Viktor Orban about everything he's done, like being an authoritarian piece of shit. So
Keith, nice. like Keith Woods, that one alt-right guy.
Oh,
yeah,
Keith
Woods. Viktor Orban is literally just Keith Woods, but with a job.
See, I actually have a video on him, but I don't think I'll ever release it because I think
release it.
No, because it's not relevant anymore. It was only relevant for a day.
Keith Woods like endorsed Michael Bloomberg or something.
He may have. But
anyway, it was kind of funny.
What the video was about, I mean, you can watch it, guys. I can upload it unlisted and you can watch it. But basically, Chicago, he decided to troll him once, and he just said in Hebrew, "Have you got a job yet?" or something. Am I right?
I said, "Are you employed?"
That's it. Are you employed? Which is same phrase, same word, same phrase, but different wording. So anyway, he then said to Chicago, "I know," somewhere along the lines of, "I know that academic agent sent you. He better watch himself."
You're a disciple of the academic agent.
And then, the fact that Chicago was sent by nobody, you kind of just said, "Hey, let's troll him." I'm like, yeah, go on.
I'm the recreational McNewt of ANCAP Twitter.
Exactly. And then it caught the attention of a lot of the Deep Law because they saw that as a threat. I mean, whether or not it was, it doesn't really matter. I don't consider it a threat. Just
I'll raid the Deep Lore Discord server.
And then he was saying,
left Deep Lore like a year ago because I just wasn't very involved. But they're not letting me back because I have to prove myself again.
I know, but he kept digging his own hole. So he kept saying things like, I've not. He's been attacking my character. He thinks banter is attacking his character. This is what he's like, and he says, well, AA's lucky that I've never used his name or likeness to attack him, which is implying that he hasn't shown AA's details or just his real name to more people than has already been shown. But and then that made him look like he wanted to dox AA, or like he was threatening to dox him, said he would if he could, but he didn't because he's such a nice guy. And in the video, I was just telling him, like, mate, do you even know what you're writing? Like, you're just coming across that way to these people. Like, I don't think it's a threat. I just think he's trying to be a tough guy. Like, he probably thinks, oh, this is something that'll make me look tough, and that'll show them. You know, he better watch himself, you know, yeah. You know, like that Wojak where he's crying on the inside, but he's showing like a really tough exterior.
Wojak.
Yeah, you know, the Wojak with the mask. That's what he is.
Wojak. No, I'm kidding.
That's basically what happened the entire day, and like
British Knight, I am not standing the EU.
Yes, you are.
I am not standing the EU.
You need to get back to Biden standing, okay?
Yeah,
No, I think we need to reform the EU. Like, I think the EU is definitely worth having.
No,
but as a free trade,
it's not happening, mate. It's not happening.
We just need you just need to abolish the EU and just keep a free trading bloc throughout Europe.
Okay, that's what I'm
You
suggesting.
don't even need a
Oh,
bloc.
okay.
You need
I
to
agree with
reform
you.
the European economic community. Anything more would be far
The thing
too
is,
centralized.
if
No, I'm still fine calling it the European Union. Because that's what the European Union was meant to be in the first place.
No, it wasn't. The EEC was the EEC.
The European
EU is completely
Union
different.
would imply that it is centralized in at least to one form, and you can't even centralize it economically.
I think they should rename it the European Economic Confederation or something.
Well, it was
No,
the
European
EEC.
Economic Community, because confederation implies that it's a state, which it should never be treated as such.
Confederation implies that it's a collection of states. That's what a confederal system is.
Or maybe, just maybe, because it's free trade, you don't need a bloc. Just bloody trade, you know.
Well, the Swiss Confederacy was a confederacy, but it wasn't like independent nation states.
If you think about it,
the official name of Switzerland.
What?
The European Union almost reminds me of just a sort of like a secretive attempt to revive the Holy Roman Empire.
It's not secretive. It's right in the open.
No, it's an open attempt to revive the German Reich.
No. The EU is the fourth German Reich, essentially.
It is.
It's not really like the German.
Yes,
it's not.
Queen. Yes, Queen. Slay.
No, it's not like the whole Roman Empire. It's more like not Persia, fuck's sake. Prussia. It's more like Prussia, especially the Parliament and how weak it is and how how it works. So basically, this isn't a complete and proper analogy. Okay, so.
Oh, also, Mitch, how much time we got left? It's been an hour.
We've got like 10 minutes. We'll go for 10 more minutes. But anyway, so the way the Prussian system was you have the king, Kaiser, whatever. So you had Wilhelm and Frederick, whoever, right? Then you had the Chancellor, and then you had all the other people. But then you had the government, or the Reichstag, right? But they don't actually govern. They have certain maybe veto rights is probably the wrong phrase, but they can make it difficult to get finance, but usually, people like Bismarck would strong-arm them and bypass them completely, usually anyway, with great difficulty. But that was democratic, the bit at the bottom, which is the Reichstag, which is very similar to the EU, whereas you've got the Commission and the President, and then you've got the bit in the middle, which isn't elected as well, I forgot what it was called, and then you've got the Parliament, which is electable, but they only have veto powers and limited ways to stop the Commission and the other things to do what they want to do. Basically, they stop the law, and the law is only amended to a certain amount, and then it just gets passed anyway. And that's essentially what the Prussian system was. They're just recreating the Prussian system, but trying to give it a new coat of paint. But it's not quite the same, though, but it's very similar. From what I've seen.
It's pretty much, in a lot of ways, that they're also trying to re-update Bretton Woods.
Probably. I don't know much about that, but maybe you guys can talk about that. Bretton Woods and stuff like that. That's the gold standard, right?
Yeah.
Bretton Woods was not a gold standard. It was a dollar standard backed by gold.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
But
It was a Keynesian attempt at disguising. It was like a fake gold standard.
Oh, so the EU Parliament is like a fake parliament. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah, like
it's a sham.
Yeah, like the German, the Second Reich Parliament, I guess it was basically a sham. It was to give the German, it was to give the German people the impression that they had democracy when they actually didn't.
The thing is, with the EU, oh shit, what was I going to say? No, I was going to say that remember as soon as the live stream ends. Like, that's annoying. I had something I was going to say. Oh, hold on. Bretton Woods, gold standard. Shit.
Dollar in the woods, dollar in the woods.
Tom Woods. The Tom Woods Show, episode 999.
Well,
You guys listen to Tom Woods?
Tom Woods? Never heard of him.
He's pretty good. He's like a minarchist or an ANCAP. He's a Rothbardian, I think is probably the best way to say it. But he interviews people from like both the left and the right.
Oh wait, yeah,
And
I've just looked him up. I recognise him now.
Friends with him on Facebook,
he's
actually.
He's on Mises.org, isn't he? Right?
No, he's a fellow at the Mises Institute.
Oh, Mises Institute he's in, right? Yeah.
Mises Institute's pretty great. So.
See what's.
We should have him on sometime.
I don't know if we can get him on, but
I don't know if we could get him on. I know we could get. I'm in his elite Facebook group because I'm a like I donate to his show. So like I'm in the Facebook group. I could probably get some people who are like been on his show on this show, but I don't know if I could get.
Oh, he does
get him
Krugman, of course, right. Yeah, he does.
My old manager actually knows him. Like my manager is a Rothbardian, or my former manager, who's like a manager at a different store now, is a Rothbardian. And
he's influenced by Stefan Molyneux. Oh, bad taste.
Oh, he's not. I don't think he isn't. He's not really influenced by Stefan Molyneux. Like he's had him on a couple times, but I have no idea why the Wikipedia. I think he's just like been influenced by like one thing he said, and like I don't know. There's very little difference between him and Molyneux. Like
I mean, is Molyneux even a libertarian anymore? I don't
know. Like socially, Tom Woods is very like moderate, but then Molyneux is basically alt-right though. So like Molyneux's kind of a joke.
Oh, I love the egg memes. They're the best ones. And I don't think he even intended that to be a meme. I bet he thought he was being super serial about 13 women and Taylor Swift, and their eggs.
Politicrat.
Yeah.
Politicrat. You're running out of time. Your eggs are dying.
How old are you, Politicrat, by the way? How old are you?
I must reproduce my eggs.
So how old are you, by the way? Just out of interest.
Well, okay, so I just realized this yesterday. So I'm gonna be 24 in about 5 months.
You're younger than me. Okay, your eggs are okay for now.
Your eggs are okay.
I'm gonna be 24 in about 5 months, and I just realized Napoleon Bonaparte was a brigadier general by the age of 24. What the fuck am I doing with my life?
Well, you've got to remember that he was also part of the revolution, and there was loads of wars.
And again, everyone died. All of his higher ups died. So
yeah, pretty much. People have to get fast tracked, and they have
it's
to
okay.
swim. So remember, most people, even back then, they would become a brigadier general by life in their 40s or 50s.
Instructions unclear. Just murdered my boss.
40 is the new 24, basically.
Instructions unclear. I got my dick stuck in a toaster.
So don't use Napoleon or Alexander or anything like that as a metric for what you've done at that age.
Also, I speaking of age, I want Politicrat to guess how old I am. He won't.
He probably already knows.
29.
Huh?
29? No, 18.
Yeah,
18.
Got it the second time. Yeah.
29.
I mean,
you're off.
You could be 29.
I think you're probably 18.
He is 18.
How can I be 29?
It's more that you're at like a horny old person. He does, doesn't he? Though, come on, Chicago, back me up.
I'm not even horny. I just fucking.
What?
That Alcazar acts like a horny, thirsty guy who watches Twitch thoughts.
What else is new?
I don't even use. I barely use Twitch. I only use it to watch.
It's not that you do. It's that you are like.
Call Me Carson is your version of an e-thought. Alcazar.
Call Me Carson is dumpy though.
Brass officer is asking, "Is this a private conversation?" No, this is a live stream. Why would it be private? You're welcome to chat in the chat and maybe donate super chats.
Guys, don't click on a link that says Charming Man 93's nudes. It gives you a virus that makes you type in all caps.
I will have you know that I am not so stupid as to let my body leak on the internet.
I have a picture of your face on my phone.
Okay, that's not creepy.
No, dude, it was the one picture you sent. It was a reaction image. It was so good.
I don't remember that.
I don't know. It was like you used it to test out your new 4K camera or something. So you just made a face like a face of like disgust or something, and I used it as a reaction image.
Oh.
I haven't used it yet because I haven't found the proper situation, but
Well,
I still have
I
it.
don't think it's so new. I think I may have been testing it to see if it was just working again, maybe. You know, I've had that camera for a year, and I rarely used it because it kept having this issue.
Yeah.
But it seems to have fixed itself. Touch wood. Been a few videos.
Now let's see if Sargon will fix his camera.
It is fixed now.
I am a liberalist. I am a liberalist, and we will defeat the socialists.
We will win the culture war and yada 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 Kekistani nationalism.
I am a centrist. I am like a basic centrist. Yeah, honestly, okay, why do people think Sargon is right wing? Because he is not.
I mean, he is and he isn't. You know, he has certain. He's more of a, he is just a centrist, I would say. I don't know.
He's like I mean, he's definitely right of Tim Pool. He's definitely to the right of Tim Pool.
Tim Pool will he'll vote for the Democrats even though he shouldn't. But
Tim Pool is a basic bitch. He's like a moderate social democrat, basically.
Yeah, and he needs to just embrace his baldness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean Tim Pool is basically what I would call a populist centrist.
What he needs to do is he needs to shave his head, get a bit buffer, and he'll be fine. Look at Jeff Bezos. He was balding and like he looked like a nerd when he started Amazon. Look at him now; he's a Chad.
If Jeff Bezos ran for president, what party do you think he'd run on?
Independent. He doesn't need a party.
Amazon is his party. He'd just create the Amazon party.
The Amazonians. It'll be the Amazonians. The Send Everything party as opposed to the Do Nothing party. I don't know.
Is it time for final words?
It is time for final words. And as British Knight says, I have a merry band of mad cringe neolibs, although, to be fair, Chicago is not a neolib, so technically I have a neolib hanger-on, which is Alcazai.
I'm Alcazai, I'm your resident neolib.
Am I a neolib?
I don't even know what you are.
I don't even know what I am either.
Neoliberal is a very broad net.
We know what you are, you're Politicrat, that's what you are.
No, I believe in politocracy, guys, so...
You are Politicrat, and I'm Mitch, and that is...
I believe in a reinstating a economically liberal version of the Roman Principate. You know.
All I'm saying is we need to bring back corporal punishment. No, I'm joking. But anyway.
No, we need to resurrect Grover Cleveland and make him president.
No, we need Coolidge.
Jimmy Carter 2020.
He can still run technically. He can still run. I would vote for him. I would totally vote for Jimmy.
He's probably got more brain cells than Biden. Let's be fair.
Trump.
Actually, I know for sure he does because the guy eats nothing but peanuts, and look at him, he's nearly 100.
Yeah, dude.
That guy
only sustains off peanuts, and he's ripped.
He's a Chad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
right.
Yeah, go on Alcazai before you do your last.
If you live to be like 93, you're a fucking Chad automatically. You're just asserting dominance over death.
See, the oldest man in the world is British, and he doesn't even look 111. He looks like 80.
11-1? Is he 11-1?
He's 111, yeah.
11-1?
11-1.
Oh, it's like J.R.R. Tolkien. It was in the Hobbit. It was the very beginning of the Hobbit. It was Bilbo's like 111st birthday.
But anyway, so like he's surprisingly lucid. He's still got his marbles, and he's still observing the world as if anybody else would. He's not like bedridden or anything like a lot of the super centenarians are. But anyway,
no, he still does work.
No. Do you know what? No. Do you know who? Do you know who's like never gonna die? I hope he never dies because his books are good. No, well, Queen Elizabeth, but no, I was saying Henry Kissinger.
Oh, he will eventually. Come on, that guy's getting on a bit. But anyway, we need to do last words.
He needs to write one book before he dies, though, because his books are fantastic. I endorse. I stand Henry Kissinger.
Okay, so last words, Alcazai.
My dick is small, and Joe Biden will win the Missouri primary.
Thank you for that enlightening amount of personal information. I hope you do well in life.
Yes.
Chicago. Last words.
Well,
Is that it?
Gladstone 2020.
Gladstone 2020. And as for you, Politicrat, what do you want to say?
I'll end in a question. Was it the will of destiny, or simply by mere happenstance, that we were doomed to be born to such a mighty age? Moreover, is it a blessing or is it a curse that we must live in this time of great consequence, that history itself made us the posterity of our own mothers and fathers?
Dab.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. But
Bro,
I don't
you
remember
just-
asking.
Bro, you just posted deep.
Bro, I don't remember asking.
Alright, and as for the rest of you lot, get out.